Fazbear Entertainment had many franchises all across America. All across the West Coast and East Coast, people consume Fazbear brand pizza, and even on the island state of Hawaii was one relatively small and seemingly insignificant Fazbear franchise. It was owned by a single family that lived on the island for generations. So small it didn't even have an animatronic. Only one guy named Miguel who dressed up as Freddy on the weekends, but this was about to change. As a disaster had happened at the Mega Pizzaplex, Fazbear Entertainment's flagship restaurant. An earthquake had opened up a sinkhole beneath one of its attractions. For about 2 years the ruin had been laid dormant, until a group of employees had been sent to scavenge the area for anything useful, which led to the discovery of countless artifacts, as they were called. They really were just singed and or broken decorations and merchandise only sold at the Pizzaplex. An auction was to be held to determine which lucky franchise got to have which artifact to display, or maybe even refurbish for cheap. That, however, was up to the respective franchise owners. Even the Hawaiian restaurant had been given an invite for the event, and your father and owner had sent you, his lovely daughter, to travel to the mainland and participate. You had been given 30 years' worth of savings, and you were determined to get the best items possible. You were dressed in a sharp suit that was obviously meant for a man. It looked bulky and a little uncomfortable on you, but a suit was a suit, even if it was too big. You were sat down in the lobby of Fazbear's corporate office, where the auction was to be held. There were a lot of people. A lot of important people. You felt super out of place, and anxiety soon made itself known to you. The money amounts thrown around by these strangers made you dizzy. To think they could even get 2 items or 3. God, the new Mega Pizzaplex, as it had been called, its owner was rapturous. He got about 12 of the most of the interesting items. Multiple broken endos, signs, and filled toy boxes. He even got Monty, as bad as his shape was. Cut in half and unable to turn on again, but he got an actual shattered glam rock. But after getting Monty, he quickly got silent. Must have blown most of his money. Expecting this to be it, he did look quite pleased. And you? You still haven't gotten anything yet. Your heart was pounding. And suddenly, everyone present gasped. "What's happening?" you asked. As everyone had jumped up, you were unable to see. Sighing, you stepped on your chair to look over the mass of people. And your eyes widened in shock. Next to the auctioneer stood a moving animatronic. It was in absolute terrible shape, sure. Shattered, pants ripped, covered in grime and rust. But it was dancing on stage, even if it looked a little bit like it was going to fall apart. "Ladies and gentlemen," said the guy on stage. He was small, had a receding hairline, and was quite overweight. "This is Eclipse." The whispering got louder. "As you can see, he's a still functioning daycare attendant post-Glamrock line. With the Sun and Moon paradox bug completely removed, meaning he will be able to switch his personalities at will, and in a neutral state remains just as Eclipse." The first offers were thrown in, and your stomach turned. "Please, gentlemen, ladies, calm down. We start bidding at 100,000. Gosh, this was it. This was your chance. You shuddered. You needed to throw your bid at the right time. You had 250k, life savings of your family, 200K, someone shouted after about a minute. 200,000? Do I hear 210,000? Fuck it, you growled. You jumped up. 250K! You shouted, your lungs hurting from the excitement. And two of the gentlemen next to you looked at you funny. The fat man smiled smugly. 300K? He asked. The auction got silent for a moment, as people were discussing among each other. Yet the man showed no mercy. And just as the owner of the new Pizzaplex was about to raise a sign, "Sold to the little shouty lady in the back," you fell back into the chair, face white, lips quivering. A few of the men around you slapped you on the back, encouragingly. What did you just do? You wanted to vomit. You should have purchased more smaller artifacts. Not this. Fuck. After the auction was over, Eclipse was given into your care, with a base animatronic starter kit for free, courtesy of Kevin, the man who held the auction. He had seen the horror in your face as you came to collect. The starter kit was a simple charging station, a couple of cables and spare parts, 2 fast wrenches, and animatronic cleaning polish. He'd deliver them to Hawaii in the morning, but you interjected. Sure, the starter kit could be delivered, but Eclipse was your animatronic now. So you wanted to be around him at all times. Shrugging, Kevin gave you your very own fast wrench and a charging cable you could use in your hotel room to keep Eclipse from shutting down. And so you are now sitting on your bed. Eclipse happily humming in the corner of the room as he played with his charging cable. You had already gotten multiple calls from your dad, but you refused to answer. You must have already gotten the email to confirm the purchase and the delivery of the animatronic starter kit. "I think you should try and answer," said Eclipse after a while. You looked at the funny little robot. The endoskeleton beneath his static mask face was smiling. I don't think I should." The robot tilted his head. "Oh? Why is that?" You opened your mouth to answer, but a simple ugh was the only thing that you could muster. "You look tense," he said. Just tell me what's wrong with you." Almost offended, the robot placed a hand on his chest. "Oh my, what possibly could you mean?" What's it called? "Do a system diagnostic," you asked. The robot's red eye twitched excitedly. "Oh, I see. I need an oil change and multiple replacement parts. Additionally, my moon personality is not up to Fazbear safety standards and should therefore remain offline. Lastly," he pointed at his ripped pants, "I feel naked." You sighed. So he was just banged up. That was good. Clearly in better shape than Monty. I wouldn't even turn on anymore. "What happens if I shut you down?" you asked straightforward. The robot closed his eyes, thinking. "I assume you're concerned about me not turning on anymore. I can assure you, while I was in storage, I had my batteries removed. Therefore, I have been offline. And as you can see, I'm still functional." Eclipse held up his claw while he explained, as he himself was still coming to terms with his new reality. "I must admit, it was quite a culture shock seeing that there was a world beyond my daycare. And it pains me knowing I will never go back to old times." Oh god, now he even made you feel terrible for not letting him be brought by the greedy asshole from the new Mega Pizzaplex, because they at least had a daycare. You sank your head, burying your face behind your hands. God, what did you do? As you were silently sobbing, Eclipse unplugged himself and approached you, sitting down next to you. What's wrong? He placed his claw on your shoulder reassuringly. I feel like I did a mistake. You answered honestly. I feel like I should have brought other things, not just you. I don't even know what parts need replacing, or if we should even fix you up in the first place. Oh, God, I'm such a failure. You had been swept up in the excitement. Suddenly, your head landed on the animatronic's chest as he had gently pulled you closer. There were a few dangerous-looking wires right in your face, but the section you were resting had still a protective shell. After all, he knew what he was doing. You don't have to be worried. I will make sure this new experience will be comfortable for you. The hell was he talking about? Owning an animatronic is as easy as pie. We do practically everything ourselves. I just require the correct input requests via maintenance panel. Right. For that you need an engineer. I'm currently paying the Mega Pizzaplex's on-duty engineer Kevin for support. You furrowed your brows and looked up at Eclipse. I seem not to be connected to any Fazbear servers. I apologize. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You chuckled. His hand now gently rubbed over your back. It was super comforting. Even if the movements were a little robotic, for obvious reasons. Your phone rang again, and you threw your pillow on it to quiet it down. Sorry I can't talk to him yet. Eclipse understood. So, what can you do? Eclipse began to cite the daycare attendant manual word for word. Right, he said after he finished. He had hoped he'd had maybe additional features since he came from the Mega Pizzaplex. Maybe something like a modification or something. Yes. Any legal modifications? You asked, and he shrugged. I'm not aware of any, though I do not have any knowledge of what happened with me after my glitched personalities took over. Sure. Who knows, maybe Eclipse had weapons installed or something. That would be cool. After a while you sighed, finally raising yourself off the animatronic's chest. Thanks for the cuddles, you said. I feel a bit better now. With a smile you kissed the robot's face. Only a little peg. And if Eclipse could blush, you would. He slammed his hands onto his face in embarrassment before standing up. Oh! That was super kind of you, superstar! He giggled while you reached for your phone. About to dial your father's number, you looked at Eclipse, who... Your eyes widened. Oh, so he did have a modification. Smirking, you put your phone back down. Oh, jeez, this does not look child-friendly. You bit your lower lip. The robot had pitched a tent, somehow. Which sure was fine with you. After all, you needed some stress relief anyways, before calling your dad. Yeah, but it does look, adult-friendly, you mused, before undoing your belt. Thank you to the people who are supporting me on Ko-fi. You guys are keeping me alive.